Temba walks into a police station and announces, "My wife has gone missing." The police officer says, "Okay, sir, we'll help you. Since when has your wife been missing?" "Well, since about a month ago," says Temba. The officer is so shocked and says, "What? A month? Why on earth are you coming only now?" "Well, I have no clothes to put on anymore," said Temba. Good evening and welcome to Talk with Rams Live on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Thank you for joining us, or choosing to join us, in fact. Sorry that the president tried to steal the thunder, but now the real church session is live. Imagine owning a plumbing business, or electrical shop, or hair salon, and that you don't have to have 3,000 clients in one salon, but you could actually have 30,000 clients in different franchises. We never think that way because we believe franchises are meant for big, big businesses. Well, the Township Economic Transformation in Franchise Ecosystem believes actually we can start franchising our township businesses. But before I go to that Opportunity Tuesday conversation, we have to go to our quickie feature, which we have first every Tuesday. And you're going to love this conversation I had slightly earlier with Tsholo, Mokobe. Just watch. Good evening and welcome to the quickie feature. Now, there's one thing I love about crisis is that it sometimes forces us to do things that we thought we should do tomorrow. Then we are dragged to do them tonight or yesterday even. So Works is a company that's been doing amazing work in the farming industry with events until, of course, COVID came and they had to think on their feet. And tonight, I'm joined by founder, Easy Founder. He'll tell us more who he is in the organization. So Mokobe from Works, and he's going to tell us about an app that they actually had developed a long time ago, never been using it until Mr. COVID-19 said, "You gotta use this." So good evening, mate, and thank you for joining us.
Good evening, Mholo, and thank you so much for having us.
I am fascinated first by the app itself, but secondly by the circumstances that forced you to use an app that you've been keeping in your back pocket. But first, let's talk about Works, the company, before we go to the app.
Sure. Works is a media company, Mholo. We've been running for the last 7 years. In 2018 February, we went and opened a satellite office in Cape Town because majority of our clients were in the Stellenbosch and Paarl region because we thrive in the agricultural sector. So we offer special events management. We conceptualize and own all of our IP in the agricultural sector, the legal sector, the educational sector, as well as the mining sector. These are passionate sectors because one, they contribute a very high influx into our GDP. And secondly, us, Bathabile, we've got no means of ownership in these sectors. And our passion is to address some transformation using our media vehicle, which is Works, to disseminate opportunities to address these policies that seem to delay transformation.
Typically, what would be happening at these exhibitions and events in the agricultural sector?
We work with private sector companies. 90% of our clients are JSE listed entities, and we assist them with driving the agenda of transformation in the agricultural sector. They have a responsibility, some have got a passion, to ensure that Black farmers convert from emerging to commercial farmers. So yes, our platform allows them to engage them, to disseminate, and to monitor the whole process between the farmers and the private sector.
Brilliant. And then, of course, we had this visitor that came to all of us late last year and became more serious at the beginning of this year, called COVID-19. And, like all of us, I'm sure you had to take a break and not work for a second.
Of course.
But then you had a product that you've been sitting with called an app. Tell us about the app and what you're doing with it now.
Yeah. Before the app, I just want to personalize it in that terms to say, as an entrepreneur, when COVID came on its first week, there's a response where humans do. It's either you flight, freeze, or fight. I froze that terms for a good week. I froze. I didn't know what was happening. I went to the archives. This pandemic was not on the archives. I called mentors. They also couldn't suggest. It's unheard of, you know. I sat there for a week. I was like, what are we facing? You know? And then on the second week, I had to then obviously get my head in the right track, you know, to say it's here to stay. I was born for this. And the core of an entrepreneur is to come up with solutions in trying times. So I had to be myself. And then I realized, you know what, we have to go to our archives, get the app. The app is for farmers. It allows them in real time that the REMs to actually sell their commodities online without leaving their farm. Because with our engagement with the farmers for the last 8 years, we have realized that a farmer has been asked to do logistics, to do transportation, to do marketing, to do bookkeeping, all of these things that me and you enjoy in our businesses. For instance, I've got my own accountant, I've got my own attorney. I don't have to do those things. I have to focus on what I specialize in. But farmers in South Africa are expected to do all of those things that I've mentioned. So this app alleviates all that burden from them to say, you farm the commodity. When it's ready, we will pick it up once you log it onto the app, and our trucks will come pick it up. We've already assessed markets for you. Once the market sells, we will then deposit the money into our account. We're approved and tested. We've got listed companies backing up our reputation. So your commodities are safe with us. I mean, they've interacted with us for the last 7 years. They know us, we know them. So this was the right time now to roll it out at the reps.
This is amazing, Tsholo. I mean, one of the things I've always said is business, especially for small business people, it takes us away from being technicians and we have to be generalists, which is very sad. As you said, the farmer then has to become an accountant, has to be a marketer, has to be everything else. On the flip side, I don't kill my own chicken. I get it already ready, done somewhere else. So it would help the farmer that they also don't have to do their marketing, but to have this app to do the marketing for them and the sales and the accounting. By the time everything is done, they can concentrate on their core business. But there's a question that worries me a bit. You're working with commodity that we consume, either as food or livestock or whatever it is. How do you guarantee quality control over the app?
Sure. So what we do, we engage the farmer prior to them actually going to plant, to say these are the standard criteria you should meet. Failure to meet these, the produce will not be up to standard. And then secondly, even if I do take the produce to the markets that we have agreement with, they have an obligation to reject it. It will never reach your house because they will have an obligation to make sure that the food is up to standard. So our role is to actually negotiate the relationships. But when it comes to the standards, we are not overriding any standards to ensure food safety and so on for the consumers. So our partners that distribute for us make sure that the produce is up to standard. What we were trying to achieve here in the REMs is that many times the retails want farmers to meet standards that are ridiculous. If you ask me tomorrow to take control of your show, I'm going to make so many mistakes because I haven't had the amount of hours on the job on your end. And this is what's happening to the farmers. We are giving them an opportunity to walk the journey with people who care, people who understand their challenges, people who understand that they won't submit their produce at a commercial level. We are there to say, look, next harvest, you can do better here, A, B, C, and D. So we're sharing information with them. We're encouraging them. We're giving them a real-time opportunity to grow. It's a practice make perfect scenario.
Wow. Okay, as we conclude, I know that you probably have mentioned one or two of them, but I don't mind if you repeat. Let's talk about quickly the 4 functionalities of the app, a Tone app.
Yeah. So the app, the first function we've been indulging in, it's access to markets and all of that. The second functionality, we have listed agri-trusted companies that I've mentioned. For your oil and petroleum, you'd have Total South Africa. For your financial institutions, you'll have your standard banks. For training and education, you'll have UNISA. And the list goes on to animal health, to pharmaceutical companies, to all the stakeholders that are listed in the app. You click in there, you have a real-time response from their reps on a provincial level. So if you're in the Eastern Cape, your rep, you'll see it there. Once you engage them, it then directs the chat to their WhatsApp. So that consultant will be able to come back to you if it's a loan you need, if it's advice financially you need, if it's a seed, a fertilizer you need. And these guys are very trusted with their brands. They are the best. And this is the reason why we made sure that we work with the best, is that partly the results of becoming a commercial farmer is to have reliable service providers. You don't want to be buying the same product, you're wasting money. But if you can buy a guaranteed product, that will sustain you, you know. And on top of that, it's an added on value that you've got direct contact with these service providers to give you information that you need. Then the third icon on the app and at the RAMS is job listing. It's a very unique sector, agriculture. And we are going to list, obviously, once the COVID-19 goes back to level 1, opportunities for people that have studied. We are saying that not everyone is meant to be a farmer. I am not a farmer. I am a communication and marketer in the agricultural sector.
Yes.
So I'm trying to sensitize and encourage the youth to say, we're not all going to be farmers. However, there are many opportunities in the sector, and this sector number 2 is not going anywhere. So it's a region that the RAMS. Everyone must eat. You know, everyone must eat. So it's a secure sector. If you're looking for something to secure, it's also picking up on smart farming. What I'm doing, it's called, in the past we used to call it precision farming. It's now called smart farming. There's a lot of opportunities that are coming there. So if you're in the IT space, there'll be a lot of opportunities for you. So those are the 3 functionalities of the app, the RAMS. And then in the news section, we have launched the transformation show. It's the Agri5 transformation show, where we profile our partners that I've listed in the agri trusted companies to tell us more about their transformation solutions, because you cannot engage an emerging farmer like you're engaging a commercial white farmer who has got 5 generations of wealth, 5 generations of experience, and you're looking at an emerging farmer with 26 years of the democracy era, and you want to give them the same solutions at the same prices. It's not going to work. Partly why we are in this rate of failure of black farmers. It's not that because they can't do it. It's just that the sector needs to be more responsive.
So it's a myth, guys, that COVID is all bad. Here's a great story of our Tone works, and they're doing amazing work. So the app is free, Tsholo.
The app is free. You can go into your Google Store or Apple Store. You punch in Agri5, which is AGRI, the number 5. The app will pop up. Or initially, you can go on our website where you get complete information on the app. The icons are there. You just click on the Apple icon or the Android icon, and automatically it takes you to the download. The app is free. The nice thing about the app, that the RAMS, is if you have it on your phone, every week, every month, content that is specifically for farmers is listed there. It will help you to understand opportunities. It will keep you up to speed on the knowledge that you need to be a better farmer. And also there will be a chat rooms that are running on the app, that the RAMS, where provincially we're gonna be having different chat rooms, and each commodity, if you poetry or a livestock farmer and so on, you'll have your own groups there where you can share ideas, discuss challenges, where then our experts will take those questions and answer on those platforms. Not only are they informing you, but they're informing everyone in the group, and we stay empowered and we stay knowledgeable.
So look, you can download the app, as he told you. I always prefer that you get the the fuller information. So I suggest go to www.atoneworks.co.za or even write to them, info@atoneworks.co.za. The details have been on the screen as I'm speaking to you. You'll see them there, but also remember them and use them. It's a beautiful story of an amazing organization that's doing amazing work. So Mokobe, it's been wonderful chatting to you, mate. You must have a great evening and all the best. Make lots of money. Beautiful story. I mean, I think that Tsholo and his partners in business are showing us what 4IR is all about. If you wanted to understand fourth industrial revolution, the story of Agri5 is about industrial revolution. So on to our main feature, the Opportunity Tuesday feature. But before I do that, I need to say to our Instagram friends, I know we came in and on and I had to post a link while we're going on and off. For a minute, I felt like Minister Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma. 1 minute you're getting your cigarettes, the other minute they're gone. I'm sorry about that, but we are back and we are continuing our conversation. Township Economic Transformation in Franchise Ecosystem is a mentorship and business support company. Its aim is to pioneer support for township manufactured and based brands stroke businesses to sustain their growth, establish systems, and replicate to other townships using the franchise ecosystem. Its CEO and founder is Ms. Bathabile Moreki, who's a seasoned entrepreneur of over 7 years herself and a multi-franchisee and a business mentor. So she knows what she's talking about. She's joining us on air. I've been waiting to talk to her for a million years. I spoke to her in some other platform many years ago when I did not understand television and I did radio. Hello, Khaizodiak.
Hello, Abdirams Lekai.
Lekai.
And hello to the viewers. Thank you so much for inviting me.
In fact, on that note, let me acknowledge a few of our viewers before we go to our conversation. We've got Auntie Michael Moema, Godfrey Litlake, Homotso Machila is here, like he says, knock, knock, we are home. Easton Polela is there, Poela, sorry, Easton. Known as Semi Fever is there, Zilem Tembu, Cindy Lukhoro, William Sheila, and I'm going to read some more of the guys that are there. I had a few people on Instagram, they'll come back again. The notifications are not up. So, but let's start at the top. I know I did a bit of introduction about your organization, but I think it's always best when you speak for yourself. Who is Ted Fair, as you guys call yourselves? Oh, I'm going to ask you to start again. Your microphone is off. Your microphone is off. You are on mute. You gotta unmute. We'd like to hear you. We don't want to see you. We want to also hear you.
Oh.
Aha, now we can hear you.
Now you can
now
hear
we can hear you. Start from scratch.
Thank you so much, Abdirams, for having me. Hello, the viewers. So Tedfair is a company that is inspired to roll out franchise businesses in the townships. If you are aware, we've got all the the franchise businesses, but mainly they're in the suburbs. And even if they're in the townships, they do not involve as much of the township-based entrepreneurs in their value chain. So we are inspired to get a lot of entrepreneurs in the value chain of the franchise, because a lot of the township-based entrepreneurs, they are now into manufacturing, which they are suitable to also supply the franchises.
So, you know, I'm like everybody else. When we think franchises, we think the big boys and big girls. You know, we think your Steers and your Nando's and your Pick and Pay and your filling stations and all those guys. I never think about Bathabile's hair and nails. I never think about Ramsey's plumbing and electrical services. How practical is to franchise those? And I know this is your passion. This has been your plan.
Okay.
I know I went to a function in Olivenholt when you started talking about this thing. How practical is it?
Okay, let me just first share with a lot of viewers so that we can clarify. A franchise is not a specific brand. I'll make an example. KFC is not a franchise. KFC uses a franchise model. So the model is not owned by a specific brand. The franchise, you find a franchised businesses in food industry, you find franchise businesses in chemicals, you find in so many industries in your like Postnet, for example, so it's not specifically about a certain brand. It's just a model, like an ISO certificate. Any industries, you need to have an ISO certificate for your system. So it's a system-based model. So any business, even if you are a small business in the township, you can use the model to grow your business. So the model, what it does, it brings people together, as specific entrepreneurs. I'll call them franchisees.
Yes.
So the franchisees now, they'll have different branch or locations to run the same product-based business or the same service. We've got franchising in education. So it's not really a product, they're offering a service to show that it's not really about a specific product or industry. So I'm sharing this as a multi-franchisee with some national brands. I won't mention them because I'm not here at their capacity. I'm here at my own private company. So I've realized to say it's just a model that any company can implement and to grow your business. For example, if you are a beauty hair salon, you can have a beauty hair salon in Mpumalanga and Gauteng, whereas you don't live in those locations. So it allows you to club in a way with other entrepreneurs. So it's like a Stockfell model where people come together. So what's the benefit of that? You share cost of running the business. Hence, when you are in the franchise, you can club together to buy stock. So you can approach a certain manufacturer to say, we need so many liters of tomato sauce. So your cost becomes more competitive. The product becomes your product because you have the buying power, like a stock fair.
Which is the same thing that the franchises have anyway. I mean, they are bigger, but they use the buying power. I know that that's what they would do. Again, typically a fast food would have a stronger buying rent to go buy patties, let's call it beef patties, that they then distribute to the franchisees. So in this case, it is all of us as franchisees who become a stock fair that can use the buying power. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. So that's one of the benefit. And the other benefit is the consistency in the business. Because remember, that's why you see a lot of franchise business growing. They have system in place. They've got consistency. Hence, if you go to buy, for example, McDonald's in Sandton and McDonald's in Soweto, you'll find the same product. Because remember, in the small, exactly. Okay, to a certain extent in China, because
I know, I've been to China. It's not exactly the same, but it's not too bad. Yeah.
But it's not too bad. Yeah. So remember, with the small business, the other thing that hampers our growth is consistency. Today you find a certain product, tomorrow you can't find it. So when you've got a buying power, you can now control your value chain to say how many stock you're gonna receive and get a commitment from your suppliers. Because remember, if you are committing 2 million rand in a day to a certain supplier, you will definitely be a preferred a supplier. So now you find that we've got good businesses in the townships, but they are not growing because we are thinking that for you to grow, you must move to a certain location. And it becomes costly if you are an entrepreneur running businesses in different locations. You don't have to physically be running them. You can also expand using different entrepreneurs where you mentor them, you train them about your brand and product. In return, you will get royalties. So there will be a fee that they pay to you, but in return, they also get a service.
Yes, but in this case, as Ted Fair, you guys doing it as a stock fair. I like it. So the franchisees, in a way, they're also owners of this. They're not just franchisees; they become part of the ownership because it's a stock fair.
Yeah. So with the model that we've partnered with other organizations like the Hookup Dinner, we've partnered with the Stock Fellas. So now with the model that we are now embarking to, we are saying while we are still doing our model to accommodate township businesses, because remember the township businesses are still small. Some of them, they've got good product, but they don't have system in place. So we are still building the full cycle to get them ready to be franchised. So, but in the meantime, because we also need to expose our entrepreneurs into this model, because a lot of people think, no, a franchise, you're not running your business, you are paying royalties. There's still a whole lot of myth because people are not informed. So to inform the people, it's better to involve them. So now we saw a gap to say, you know what, a lot of and that makes a lot of entrepreneurs not to participate in the franchise model is because of the access to it. To be honest, to get into the business, the capital is quite high. But as a buying power, because remember I said in the beginning, the franchise is like a stokvel model. So why can't we use our own stokvels? Because we've got stokvels that at the end of the year, they can share 1 million or more. So if a business is 1 million, we have franchise businesses that is 1 million. Why can't we buy that franchise cash so that now we can create the capital, because we'll get the returns in that investment. And number two, we can also participate in the economy, because if you look into the franchise, the most disturbing is that it's still for the advantage groups. So to say, you don't find a lot of township entrepreneurs or township aspiring entrepreneurs involved in the business. You find them as customers. We buy every day at McDonald's, we buy at KFC, we use Postnet, we use engine garages, but why is it that difficult that we also be part of that economy stream? So we have taken to back to say, you know what, let's get involved and transform the economy, and not just transform it through some discussion. Let's put it in the practical sense.
Well, for me, the best transformation is to franchise our own businesses. I mean, I've been a critic of the other franchises because we are enriching other people. I love the system that you're coming with. I mean, I can tell you, some of the people who are watching us, they make necklaces and earrings, they do hair, they do stuff. If we can franchise these people and grow them, have systems and processes, we're going to grow. But I don't have more time. I just want you to tell, because I know it's still early days, you're finalizing the model, you're going to get it right in no time. But those who are interested in getting their businesses franchised, how do they get hold of you and start participating in this model?
In the model, they can check our website. If you go to our website, there's our mobile number, and they can just send us an email from our website, which is www.tetfe.co.za. And we're gonna post again on your link here so that they can get our website and our contact details. And we are not really far, because we are planning to open our first store, which is owned by a stokvel, a group of entrepreneurs from the township, by December 2020. So we are actually far.
What are you able to share what store that is? If you are,
we won't disclose the brand now. We will share, but we are definitely, we have we are quite far, to be honest. we are working with the industry leaders in the stokvel. Like, we work with stokvelers, we are working with the hookup dinner. So we are working with people that have systems as well in place. You know, even now, I think we've got over 300 members who have subscribed. So we'll be opening, because to build a franchise, it takes 42 days, literally 42 days to set up a business. So in the next 6 months, we will be opening our first franchise business owned by township entrepreneurs and aspiring entrepreneurs to create jobs, and also involve our communities in this industry that it's really, really, you hardly find, you know, a lot of township communities owning such brands, you know, being part of them. But in the process, we are also embarking to create our own Black-owned franchises in different industries.
Brilliant. Bathabile Moreki, I have always known you're passionate about this thing. I've seen you work hard for it. I'm so glad that it's finally coming to fruition. Yes. I'm hoping in 10 years' time, you can show me 100 Black township franchises that have been created and are all over. And I know you will make it. I have no doubt about
definitely.
it.
We don't sleep. We're not sleeping.
We have already shared your details on the screen, but we'll share them again later. Also, you must also go in and look at them. People are already asking questions on Facebook Live. But thank you very much for the time.
Thank you so much for inviting us and always supporting us, Remza. We appreciate you so much.
Anytime, anytime. And to everybody else, thank you very much for tuning in. And I know that both the stories that we had tonight were very, very interesting to you. I have seen the responses on Facebook Live. I've seen participation on Instagram, and I know that the YouTubers always join us a bit later because they think they're, upstairs. But it's okay. We love them still. So, tomorrow we're going to be talking about funding in another space, in a different space. Funding in the media space. We're speaking to the MDDA, the Media Development Diversity Agency. Please join us 7:30 if the president does not disturb us. But we're going to do it 7:30 as usual on Facebook Live, Instagram, and YouTube. From me, Rems Mabote, good night and God bless.
Bye. Thank you.
Are you still with us?